would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
Man, there's problems in every community. That's the truth. Listen, do you want to see a hypocrite? I mean, just show you that they are talking out of both sides of their mouth? I'm going to show you two in this video. I'm talking about Don Lemon and Representative Ilhan Omar. They are hypocrites. But this is something we've known for a long time. But you're not supposed to say the quiet part out loud. They've both become sloppy in their cognitive dissonance. And we're going to talk about that in this episode. Take a look at what Donnie Boy, who now has egg all over his face, no pun intended. Take a look at what he had to say about white men. Now, I would say this before I get into this, that every people group, every ethnicity has a smaller subset within a greater culture that at times you can become ashamed of. What am I saying? I'm saying that there are some blacks that make me ashamed of our community as a whole. And at times I don't want to associate with these individuals. I pray for them, I do. But do I want to hang out with them? No. Do I want to live beside them? No. Can we kick it? No. Can we chill? No. Why? Because you embarrass us as a whole. Now, it's imperative that we don't paint with a broad brush, because there are people like that in the black community who misrepresent the greater culture. But the same holds true to whites, to Hispanics, to Asians, to Indians, to Native Americans, to Pacific Islanders, to every demographic. Every demographic has a smaller subset within a greater culture that you say, man, you just make us look bad. God knows we have that in the black community, but we also have it in every community. But it's strange when you can call out another subset while knowing that you are in an openly homosexual relationship with that subset. I mean, how do you do it with a straight face, Donnie? Take a look at this.
Men who look like you, men who vote like you, and men who sound like you. White men, something is broken. Something is cracked deep inside when so many of you believe the answer to fear, to loss, to change is violence. Are you listening to me? I hope I'm saying it loud enough for the people in the back.
All right, so there he calls out white men for violence, and there has been a rash of shooters and trans, furry, affectionate kind of individuals. That is true, okay? But you can't paint with a broad brush. Just like when we saw the woman Irina, when her life was taken on the light rail in Charlotte. It's a dastardly thing for people to come out and say, there's a problem in the black community. Man, there's problems in every community. That's the truth. Every community, as I told you earlier, has a subset within that community and or culture that doesn't live up to par. And that diminishes at times the standard of the greater community. But Don, how can you make such a statement, my friend? This is the funny part. See, Don Lemon is married to Tim Malone, a real estate agent. That's Timmy right there. But Timmy, I mean, zoom in as much as possible. You know, Don is a little high yellow, okay? But Tim, He's full on European. He's Caucasian. Okay, that's a white man. Hello, somebody. It's as white as it gets. So how do you talk about the violence of the white community? And white men, we need to have a conversation. When you get home, you are doing things that are unbiblical with a white man. I mean, he's taller than you, he's bigger than you, and so you might fit the position of being a bottom. I mean, this is disgusting stuff. I just have to say it. I have to call a spade if it walk like a duck, if it talk like a duck, if it quack like a duck, it's got to be a duck. Don, how do you do this? You are married to a white man. They started dating in 2016. They got engaged in 2019. They were married on April 6, 2024 in New York City. New York City! And they've been married for less than 2 years. Yeah, okay. Don, you are very much so acquainted with white men. And then you have Representative Ilhan Omar, who does the same kind of song and dance. Let's take a look at Representative Ilhan Omar doing the same thing. Take a look.
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
Okay, there goes Representative Ilhan Omar. And listen, I know the strategy. I know the strategy of Don. I know the strategy of Ilhan Omar. Everyone's talking about black men and black culture and what we've done wrong and how we're so violent and everything like that. And so I understand the point there a little bit. I see where they're going. I see it. But like I told you earlier, we can't paint with a broad brush. Don't look at what happened on that light rail and say, hey, that's all black people. Don't look at the Nimrods in Chicago and say that has to be all black people. No, there are black people who don't want to live in Chicago, who don't want to visit Chicago, who stay away from the hood, who don't like hood culture, who believe in taking care of their children. They're upstanding citizens in the United States of America, and they don't identify with hood or Negroic cultures. That is true. And I represent that greater subset. And there are many people who follow me on this YouTube channel who are in the same category. But Sister Ilhan Omar, I see the finesse. I see the finesse in what you're doing. But Ilhan Omar is married to Tim Minette, a political consultant. They got married in 2020. They first met through her political campaigns, where he worked as a consultant. The relationship began while he was doing political work for her. He's a white man. So, I mean, we hear you, but we also hear you, okay? See, the psychology behind Don Lemon's contradiction and Representative Ilhan Omar's contradiction is what you call cognitive dissonance. It says that white men, are toxic or they're violent while being married to one. See, they're holding to two conflicting realities at once. That's not good. Then you have compartmentalization. Separates his husband, Don Lemon, the exception, from white men as a whole, the problem. Now, how do you do that? That's why we have to be careful with painting with a broad brush. Don't look at a criminal on TV and he's black and then scroll to my channel and think I'm that criminal. The devil is a liar. When we look at the shooter in Utah, the white, Lord Jesus, I almost said something. I got to keep the rhetoric at a certain place. It wasn't profanity, but I have to be careful on YouTube. When we look at the the effeminate man chasing boy who took the life of Charlie Kirk. We see that boy and we have heard about his trans lover. Do we now look at all white people as trans furry sympathizers who go on top of buildings and take people's life? Do we do that? Do we look at the guy that just recently drove his Chevy Silverado into a Mormon church? Opens up fire on everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Do we look at him and say, hey, that's all white people? Hello? No, we can't do that. And so we owe it to one another as brothers and sisters in Christ to judge a person based upon the content of their character. Don't judge me based upon what you saw in another black man. And I won't judge you based upon what we see in other white people or Asian people or Hispanic people. You get the point. Then you also see social signaling in this. They both use rhetoric to align with progressive circles and maintain relevance, even if it conflicts with their personal life. It's sad. Spend all that time talking about racism, the white man this, the white man that, the black man can't get ahead, the blah, 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 blah. But you married to a Tim Malone. I mean, a white man. Come on here, somebody. He's not married to a wigger. To a white dude that's acting black. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. No. So you gotta be mindful of that. And then you also have the gaslighting element. It creates confusion by condemning the same group he's personally tied to, making people question reality and consistency. You see, generalization is a lie. Don't do it. Don't paint with a broad brush. Labeling all white men as toxic is dishonest. It paints millions of individuals with the same brush. Don't do it to any ethnicity, okay? And it's become common to do towards blacks. I might note, but don't do it because no one wants that to be done to their culture. Then you have dehumanization. Reduces complex human beings into a caricature or toxic oppressors instead of recognizing people as individuals. Don't dehumanize me. Don't do it. Then you have moral double standards. Those who use blanket accusations often claim to fight for justice, but practice the very prejudice they condemn. Then you have emotional manipulation. Blanket terms are designed to stir guilt, shame, or anger rather than foster truth and accountability. See, who uses this rhetoric, you might ask? Activists, media figures who gain power by pitting groups against each other. Politicians who benefit from division and fear use it, and commentators who can't win arguments with nuance, so they flatten everything into us versus them. That's what we're dealing with. Be mindful of that. Be careful. Don Lemon, hypocrite. The egg is all on your face. Representative Ilhan Omar, same for you. Egg is all over your face, my friend. Listen, will the egg be on your face? Don't be a hypocrite. Don't paint with a broad brush. Don't look at the evil of one man and then judge everybody. Don't do it. Because the pendulum, my friends, can swing both ways, and no one likes it when the pendulum swings in their direction. All right? Thank you. Let me know what you think below, my friends, in the comments section. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I weak or am I strong? God bless you, my friends, and God bless America. Do me a big favor, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just do it. Just be so kind. Be generous. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Help me work the algorithm because there's no rhythm like the algorithm. God bless you.